Eating Jolly Ranchers right now. What's up, people? Today we have my first Edge of Fate build video. Currently, I'm gonna be making more builds. I haven't played on literally Hunter or Titan at all, like not even a little bit, because I've just been so focused on Warlock. So today, as you can clearly see, we are using the Unoya. I don't know, but we're using this Godlike exotic. It just came out in the Edge of Fate, and I know this build video is kind of late, but that's because I originally planned on making this build video a lot sooner, when I was around like 200 power, but I decided to wait like longer so I can get better gear. As you can see, a lot of my gear is tier 3, tier 4. I'm still working on getting a better helmet, but I wanted to wait until I was at least able to get tier 4s so I can produce a better build for this video. And currently we have two builds with this sort of exotic, I'm gonna show them off here currently. So before I start, let me get off with the description of the exotic. It's Consul's Pitch. Helion projectiles deal increased damage the further they travel, eventually fracturing into scorching shrapnel. So basically, this exotic has everything to do with the Helion. We all know what the Helion is. It spawns in a little solar Modar that shoots occasionally, scorches a little bit. It's actually really not bad if you're trying to like maximize your solar potential and you just want to get that extra bit of damage and scorch out there. It's really not bad at all. But the Unoya picks it up to 11, I'd say. So now, when I activate my Helion, it becomes this high, like, damage Modar that also splits into extra, like, fragments, and it'll also scorch even more. And as you can see, the fragments have a little bit of tracking on them. They're kind of curving to different targets. And it basically just does a lot more by you not doing anything. It just powers it up. It doesn't do anything special. And it looks very, very like mid on paper. And originally when they first showed off this exotic, that's exactly what I thought. I was thinking, man, you know, Titan's got something really cool, the Hunter's got a really good exotic, and then the Warlock's got something super mid. But unironically, this is probably my favorite exotic I've used in a really long time on Warlock. The last like fun exotic I can think of is the Rhymecoat Raymond. And funnily enough, that also had to do with turrets. I don't know what it is on Warlock. I just love making turrets. I love like spawning things in to do the work for me. And I think that's the whole point of Warlock. The build I have here does exactly that. I like to call this build the Monkey Engineer from Bloons Tower Defense 6. That's the full name. You got to call it that every time you use it. It's the Monkey Engineer from Bloons Tower Defense 6. And it is taking advantage of 3 different turrets that you can spawn in all at once. The Unoya Motor from the Helion, the Finality Augur turret, and the Bleak Watcher turret. So basically what you'll be doing is you'll be activating your class ability to get the Helion. You spawn in your stasis turret, and then you shoot out your Finality's Augur turret. And you got 3 different turrets all working without you even clicking a button. I'm not even playing the game right now, and everything's getting damage. It's freezing, it's scorching, it's doing explosive damage. It's really, really good. And it's really fun too. I call this the Monkey Engineer, not because it mimics the Monkey Engineer, which it does, but because a literal monkey can play this build. You don't have to do anything. You literally just walk around, activate all of your turrets all at once, and then the game plays itself. It's really, really nice. But yeah, if we want to just go over the little build details here, we have all the mods here. I won't go over every single mod, but I'll leave a dim link in the description. For the artifact is actually super important because there are 2 styles to play this build, where you can use this style, which is for a lot like lower level content. If you're like speed running a solo ops mission, or you're doing something low level like a raid or something, where you have a lot of other people, this is the build for you. This is the one you'll use. The other build, which I'll get into later, that is more for like, you know, high-end content where you need to prioritize your survivability more than you need to prioritize your damage. But this goes heavy on the damage. We have two things that are helping that. This right here, Cauterized Darkness. Stasis or Strand debuff non-boss combatants take increased damage from solar damage from all sources. And that's exactly why you have the Bleak Watcher here. Because the Bleak Watcher will inflict slow and freeze on things, making it so your Helion rocket does more damage, and making it so your Finality's Augur turret does more damage, because they're both solar. Not to mention, Finality's Augur is also the featured exotic, which just means it does more damage straight up. But it doesn't stop there, because we also have this right here, Radiant Shrapnel, which means dealing sustained weapon damage while radiant or defeating a scorched combatant with a weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles. Guess what causes sustained weapon damage? This little fucking turret right here. Because it shoots so frequently and so much, it'll release these solar projectiles. You can't see it because it just explodes immediately, but it does. I know it does. I've tested this. This is literally the build I've used since the start of the expansion. I'm not joking. So it's really good. But then it keeps getting better because you also have Fever and Chill, which makes it so rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant radiant, rapid precision hits with stasis weapons grant frost armor. I'm pairing this with the Yeartide Apex because it has Demolitionist and Incandescent, which is just a really good combo. But it's a solar weapon that allows me to get radiant and then bam. Since this is up, since I'm radiant now, I do the targeting, spawns in the solar thing. It's really, really good. But it doesn't stop there. When we go to our Prismatic subclass, we also have Facet of Courage, which makes it so your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with darkness debuffs. So whenever you throw your Stasis turret down, and you put down your Helion does more damage, your Finality's Augur turret does more damage, and all solar things just do more damage straight up. It's actually really insane for just bursting down champions. Like, you should be seeing some gameplay in the back. There is just so many times where I just absolutely burst down a champion because I put this setup down. And I don't even have to do anything. I shoot my gun, but you don't really have to. If you want to shoot your solar SMG to get radiant again, that's fine, but you really don't have to do anything. And this build literally plays itself. I have Facet of Command, which makes it so whenever I freeze a target with my my Bleak Watcher, it'll reload all of my weapons and give me a few extra weapon bonuses. I have Facet of Ruin, which makes it so my solar ignitions have a bigger size, and my stasis shatters do more damage, which is what happens whenever I freeze something. This third fragment can honestly just be replaced with anything. I have Facet of Justice right now, so whenever I get an ability final blow, they explode. Helion counts as an ability, but this can be replaced with literally anything. If you want to always upkeep your radiant, you could put on Facet of Dawn. If you want to lean into more elemental buffs, you could put on Facet of Purpose. You can do really anything here. Anything works. So this one is interchangeable. I'm using Song of Flame just because, solar is being buffed right now. If I put down my stasis turret and then pop my super, that also gives me the increased damage. So you kind of always want to have on Song of Flame, just so you can always do a ton of super damage. And as for stat distributions, at first I thought it was the best idea to just fully send into class. I won't play that old video because I already recorded this whole video, but I won't play it in this video. But in that video I said, yeah, just fully send into class. You want to make sure you have as much class as possible. This is bad. This is the wrong information. You do not need 200 class. You just need 100 so you can get the maximum amount of cooldown energy. The overshield you get for going over 100 class is absolutely useless. It does nothing. It's 40 overshield health if you go to 200, and in high-end content, that'll get destroyed in one hit. So instead of going all into one stat, you kind of want to just split yourself down the middle. So I want to get more weapon. Right now it's at 118, which is fine. So you get the 15% extra damage. I have class at 100, so you can get the maximum amount of cooldown. I want to state this right now as it stands. every single build video I make from now on will always have 100 super or 200 super, no in between. And you will never see me go under 100 super. The benefit of having 100 super in any sort of content is just so good. You can literally refund your super back in maybe 30 seconds. It is absolutely amazing to have 100 super in anything. So all builds from now on will always have above 100 super, or at least 100 super. And then I also have 100 grenade, just so I can get my Bleak Watcher back as soon as possible. Your melee stat doesn't really matter for this build, and then your health stat is completely useless, so you don't need to worry about it. But yeah, this build literally just takes advantage of the fact that you don't need to play the game in Destiny anymore. You can literally just activate all your turrets, and you don't need to play the game. It doesn't matter. Everything will just do itself. The game plays itself, baby. So that is the prismatic version of this build. I also have a solar version of this build, a solar specific version of this build, because in higher end contents, when you're on the prismatic build, sometimes you won't get your Helion back whenever you need it. So the solar build fixes that, because on solar specifically, you get access to Ember of Singeing, which makes it so whenever you scorch a target, you get your class ability back faster. Now, I just want to show you how powerful that is. Watch. Put down my thing, and then I just start scorching people. This stacks, by the way, so it's not just if you scorch something, it gives you like more class ability energy. It's the more things you scorch, the more class ability energy you get. So as long as you're scorching everything in the room, you'll be able to get your class ability back extremely fast. It's really, really strong. And I am using Phoenix Dive, but it doesn't have to be Phoenix Dive. It can be anything. I don't recommend Empowering Rift because you want healing. So I'd recommend either Phoenix Dive or Healing Rift. Doesn't really matter. For the fragments, I'm using Touch of Flame because I have Healing Grenade. Like I said, the solar specific build, the solar synergy build, this is more for sitting in the back of the map, letting your Helion do the work, and peppering things with a solar weapon. So I have on Polaris Lance just because it's the featured exotic. But you literally just sit in the back and then shoot from a distance that enemies can't really touch you. Your Solar Scorch will do all the work. Your Polaris Lance will do all the work. You do not have to be close up like you do with the other build. You just sit in the back like this. Maybe pull out your other gun, you know, burst on a champion or something, go right back to Polaris Lance, and you just pepper things. You do not get up close with this build. And because Polaris Lance is also causing you know, solar ignitions and solar scorching, it also gives you back your Helion fast as well. So this is definitely more for high-end content. You don't want to be going in with this build. You want to just sit in the back and pepper things. It has sort of the same stat spread up, but your grenade doesn't really matter as much. So I'd recommend either putting the grenade energy back into either super or weapons, because in this you can have on probably not Empyrean, probably, where is it? It's Benevolence. Right here. I would recommend Ember of Singeing and Ember of Benevolence. Benevolence makes it so whenever you cast, like, whenever you give a teammate healing or radiant, restoration or radiant, you get bonus ability energy. So you can literally just sit in the back of the map with your friends, put down a healing rift or put down your Phoenix Dive, and just pepper things in the back of the map with your friends. You'll always have your class ability, you'll always have your other abilities. So grenade and melee both aren't really useful in this setup. You can kind of just leave them alone. Put these stats right back into either weapons or super. Like I said, you never want to go above 100 class. It's absolutely useless. You don't need it. But these are the two builds I have been using quite literally for the entire time. Throughout the entire grind of Is it Edge of Fate? Dude, I'm tired right now. And I'm kind of just trying to shoot through this. But yeah, I've been using this for the entirety of Edge of Fate. I don't use anything else. I literally just stick on this build the entire time. I have been using Finality's Augur. As you can see, it's my most powerful weapon because I just love Finality's Augur. I've loved it since it came out. I've been using it for so long, and it's just a really fun exotic to just sit there and throw down a turret, not worry about it. It's fun. And it's also just a good weapon. I plan on getting the Catalyst pretty soon. Catalyst isn't really needed because all it is bait and switch, but it is useful. But yeah, that is the build. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like.
SpongeBob, you hooked me $1 million on the backswing! Reel it in before I keelhaul you!